No one was supposed to stop a human on the upper levels of the Celestial Accord station. The station was ancient, older than most recorded interstellar civilizations, its corridors grown rather than built, its walls humming with the faint energy of treaties that had prevented galactic war for thousands of cycles. Species from across the galaxy passed through its halls daily: diplomats, traders, emissaries, soldiers. And humans, still relatively new to the wider galaxy, were permitted here only under strict protocols. Daniel Cade knew those rules well. That was why he froze when the corridor suddenly went silent. The hum vanished. The lights dimmed. And then, behind him, a voice rang out, sharp, commanding, unmistakably royal. "You, human, stop." Daniel halted mid-step. Slowly he turned. She stood at the center of the corridor, tall and radiant, flanked by guards whose armor glowed with embedded star metal sigils. Her skin shimmered like polished moonstone, faintly iridescent, and her eyes, 4 of them, arranged in an elegant arc, burned with controlled fury. "Princess Veilira of the Etherin Dominion." He swallowed. Every being on the station knew her name. The Etherin were one of the founding powers of the Accord, an ancient species whose technology and influence shaped galactic law. And Veilira was not merely royal, she was heir to the Dominion's high throne. And she was staring directly at him. "You are not leaving," she said, her voice echoing unnaturally, amplified by authority fields embedded in her ceremonial mantle. "Not until you explain this." She raised her hand. A hologram bloomed between them, an image of a dead world. Etherin Prime. Daniel's breath caught. The guards shifted, weapons humming softly. I don't understand," Daniel said carefully. "Princess, I'm just an engineering liaison." "I don't." "Do not lie," Veilira snapped. "My people have reviewed the sensor data. The energy signature matches human intervention. You were there." The corridor felt suddenly very small. "Yes," Daniel said quietly. "I was." A ripple of whispers passed through the gathered onlookers, aliens of dozens of species who had slowed, drawn by the tension. Humans were rarely confronted openly by royalty. Humans rarely survived it when they were. "Then explain," Veilira said, stepping closer. Her fury was tightly coiled now, dangerous and precise. "Explain why a human engineer was present during an Etherin planetary incident that violated laws older than your species." Daniel exhaled slowly. This isn't a conversation meant for a hallway. She considered him for a heartbeat. Then she made a gesture. The guards stepped back. The corridor sealed. Privacy fields activated. "Speak," she ordered. Daniel had arrived at Etherin Prime 3 cycles earlier as part of a joint stabilization mission. Officially, humans were observers, quiet, cautious, still regarded by many ancient species as unpredictable newcomers. Unofficially, humans were called in when something was broken beyond conventional understanding. Etherin Prime was dying. Its core resonance, an exotic quantum lattice that powered the planet's climate, cities, and defense systems, was collapsing. A failure of that magnitude should have been impossible. The Etherin had engineered their world over millennia. But impossible things happen more often than the galaxy liked to admit. "I was assigned to assess the resonance collapse," Daniel said. "What I found wasn't a malfunction." Veilira's eyes narrowed. "It was sabotage?" "No," he replied. "It was law." That word struck her like a blade. "The ancient preservation statute," Daniel continued. "The one your people helped write. It prevents developing civilizations from interfering with natural stellar evolution beyond defined limits." Her expression hardened. "That law protects the galaxy from reckless manipulation." "Yes," Daniel said. but it also assumes the universe behaves predictably. He tapped the hologram. The image shifted, showing energy fractures spiraling through the planet's core. Your planet wasn't evolving naturally. A rogue dark energy filament passed through your system centuries ago. It destabilized the lattice slowly, invisibly. According to the statute, intervention wasn't allowed until collapse was statistically inevitable. And it wasn't, Veolyra said coldly. Not by Etherin standards, Daniel agreed. But by human standards, it was already too late. Her guards stirred again, unsettled. You broke the law, she said. Yes, Daniel said. I did. The admission echoed like thunder. I rerouted the resonance manually. I burned out half the auxiliary nodes. I destabilized the planetary shield network for 6 minutes. Veolyra's voice dropped to a whisper. Do you know how many of my people could have died if I hadn't acted? Daniel interrupted gently. Your planet would have cracked within 3 cycles. No evacuation. No warning. Silence fell. She stared at him, fury warring with something else, something dangerously close to doubt. You had no authority, she said. No mandate. No, he agreed. Just responsibility. Veolyra turned away, her mantle rippling like liquid starlight. The law exists for a reason, she said. It is the foundation of galactic order. Daniel nodded. Humans understand laws. We also understand what happens when laws outlive the reality they were meant to govern. She faced him again. You think you know better than the galaxy? No, he said softly. I think the galaxy is afraid of admitting when it's wrong. Her breath caught. You endangered everything, she said. I saved your world, he replied. For a long moment, neither spoke. Then Veolyra asked the question that had haunted her since the incident. Why, she demanded. Why would a human risk sanctions, exile, even execution for a world not his own? Daniel met her gaze. Because we remember what it's like to lose a home. The words landed with unexpected weight. My people once followed laws that said suffering was acceptable collateral, he continued. That extinction was natural progression. We obeyed, and billions died. Her fury wavered. When humans joined the galactic community, Daniel said, we swore we wouldn't let rules become excuses again. Veolyra felt something shift inside her, an unsettling realization. You didn't just break the law, she said slowly. You challenged it. Yes. And if the council finds you guilty, I'll accept it, Daniel said. But Etherin Prime will still be alive. She searched his face for arrogance, for defiance. She found only exhaustion and conviction. The silence stretched until the station's distant hum returned. Finally, Veolyra dismissed the guards with a flick of her hand. You will come with me, she said. The council will demand answers. Daniel inclined his head. I expected that. She paused before activating the corridor again. You know, she said quietly, my people believed humans were dangerous because of your strength. She looked at him fully now. We were wrong. He frowned. You are dangerous, she corrected, because you are willing to care. The doors opened. The station resumed its life around them. As they walked side by side toward the council chambers, whispers followed. The hearing that followed would shake the foundations of the accord. Daniel was found guilty of violating the ancient preservation statute. But something unprecedented happened next. Princess Veolyra invoked a royal challenge, forcing a full reevaluation of the law itself.